What's going on YouTube? Josh here checking in. I wanted to make a quick video basically going over the results of my mock meet. It's the last video up on the channel if you haven't seen it already, and overall went pretty well. So quick preface prior to going into each of the individual lifts, just the background. Basically the better part of 2014 I was recovering from injuries. I had a torn muscle in my hip that took a long time to recover from. I started making some progress, had to basically stop due to physical therapy and other treatments, things like that. So basically, my numbers going into the meet, I really didn't know what to really base my training maxes off of to get percentages for my, all of my lifts. So that was definitely a very challenging aspect of this particular training cycle. So as far as the squat goes, overall I was really happy. My best squat previous to this was 435. And obviously in the mock meet, if you've seen the video, it's 455. So overall really happy with that. Due to the fact that I didn't really know what my numbers were in this training cycle, I ended up kind of, underestimating where my strength was at. When I did that 405 squat for max reps, which, is pretty recently up on the channel, I was able to get 5, which is, kind of a big deal considering the best I had done before that was 2. So obviously I knew that my strength had increased a lot, but due to the fact that I kind of underestimated my planned numbers, I ended up working with a little bit lighter weights than I probably should have towards the end of the training cycle. In reality, I would have liked to touch some heavier weights, and you can definitely see that in my form on the 435 and the 455 attempt. Specifically on the 455, that max attempt, of course, it's not going to be a beautiful rep, but you'll notice, I guess it's kind of hard to tell from the video, but my right knee actually caves inward a little bit excessively, and that really threw me off. That's kind of why it looks like I'm kind of off balance. So, in the future, obviously I'll have better training numbers to go off of, and then I'll be able to just to feel a little bit more comfortable moving some heavier weights. Now, one other thing that I think really helped me with this training cycle is the fact that I did a lot more hypertrophy work in my squats. I did a lot more work in the ranges of, say, 8 to 12 reps, something that I never really touched before, and I must say that I think it was really beneficial for providing me a solid base, especially as I was recovering from my injury. It allowed me to get a bit more volume in without really, making the intensity all that high. Now, as far as bench press, obviously the bench, if you've seen the video, was a fucking disaster. Excuse my French. So, bench has always been a weak lift of mine, and now why was it so bad this time? There are a few issues that go into it. Firstly is that, I just have to be honest with myself, and it's that I wasn't really giving it the attention that it deserved. So my bench press obviously is not that good, and it really deserves a lot more attention, but unfortunately, in this training cycle, I was kind of just going in and getting the work done, as opposed to really being aggressive about, my technique, about moving the weights with, really solid speed and all things like that. As far as my technique goes, when I was recovering from that tear in my hip muscle, I was having an issue with leg drive where I couldn't really get into a comfortable position. So I kind of just let that issue go by the wayside, and as a result, my setup was very inconsistent this entire training cycle, and I wasn't really able to practice much leg drive. To be fair, once I was really feeling better, I kind of just forgot about it. I didn't really put much attention to the fact that I lost all my leg drive. And then by the time I started incorporating leg drive back into my training for my bench, it kind of wasn't really feeling that great. And I had this issue where my butt was coming up, which is obviously what you saw happen in the video when I first went for 270. My butt came up, which is kind of strange. It came up like after the point where I really maximally had leg drive, and that kind of, I guess, just took too much out of me where I couldn't get it the second time. So another thing that I messed up on my bench is I actually changed my grip width about 4 weeks out from this mock meet, which is not something that I would definitely ever recommend doing. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. I thought I was going to be able to feel a little bit better, and the reality is you really shouldn't be messing around with anything like that that close to a mock meet. I would say 6 to 8 weeks would be the minimum time that you'd want to mess around with as far as that's concerned. Yeah, so going forward, I'm going to make sure that I obviously am much more technically proficient with my bench press. I've already started to modify my setup to the point where I'll really be able to get nice and tight and hopefully ensure that I'll be able to get that leg drive back and still keep my butt on the bench. So that means I'm going to be much more diligent with recording my sessions. I've already modified my programming to include a lot more volume, a lot more just overall work with the upper body, really hammering it hard, unlike what I've done any time in the past. So hopefully this will make a difference and we'll see some improvements by the time I hit the platform the next time. As far as the deadlift is concerned, overall I was really happy with this. My previous best was 565, and that was probably about 9 or 10 months from the time that I hit this one. So it was a while since I had hit my last PR in the deadlift. The 540 rep, the opener, went pretty well. Then I hit 585, which was really not that difficult. It didn't feel like it was 45 pounds heavier than the previous lift. And after that I hit 595, which went very well. I honestly don't have any recollection of the lift because I'm sure, as you guys can relate, you kind of have that post-lift amnesia. But I was told that it went very smoothly. I was told it actually looked better than the 585 rep. So all in all, it looks like I've set myself up for a 600 plus pull in my next competition, which is something I'm really looking forward to. As far as my sumo deadlift training is concerned, I didn't really do anything too different than what I normally do in this training cycle. You know, I don't really have anything to say. It seems like what I've been doing has pretty much given me relatively consistent progress. The only new thing is that you'll notice I'm wearing wrist wraps, and that's really just for grip strength. It's kind of an insurance policy to make sure I didn't drop the weight. In my last competition, I dropped the weight at lockout with 584, and that was just really frustrating. So that's my only tip for you guys. Anyway, so that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to post below in the comment section. And that's pretty much it. I hope you liked it. Be sure to give it a like. If you're not subscribing, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Should've told you I'm on one. Yeah, fuck it, I'm on one. Yeah, I said I'm on one. Fuck it, I'm on one. But somebody should've told you I'm on one. Yeah.